Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. I'm so glad you guys chose to check this out. I say before every episode, you guys could be watching anything. You guys could be listening to anything. The fact that you took the time to listen to this program means so much to me, and I don't count it a light thing. So thank you. Today, my guests are Christina and Jonathan of CJ Honesty. They have a podcast. They have some great things going on for millennials, and I just wanted to have them on. We're going to talk about being unstoppable. We're going to talk about some of the things that they may face as millennials. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
You know, funny fact, ladies and gentlemen, when I first started talking to them, I thought they were married. But they look good together. You guys look great together. I understand that you will be married, correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
It's on the discussion.
I can see it all over your faces. Young love. Tell us about CJ Honesty. Tell us about what you guys are doing. Let my global audience hear about you guys. What do you guys got going on? I have some questions for you, but introduce yourself to the audience.
Oh wow. Well, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Christina.
And basically, we pretty much came up with CJ Honesty. We really had focused on the millennials and people our generation. I'm 27, Christina's
I'm 28.
Mm-hmm. And we really, when we look down our Facebook feed and Instagram feed, you see a lot of people struggling with their relationships, and they're talking about, there's no more good man, and there's no more good woman in the world, and there's no more love, and I don't want to be married, and I think marriage is just a piece of paper. And we just wanted to make this podcast to prove them wrong, basically. And also we on the foundation of it, of course we're believers, so if anybody on top of that, if they just come to find Jesus Christ in that way, then that's fine as well. But we don't discriminate on who comes on the show and what we talk about. We talk about a variety of things because we know, the Bible says that he that wins souls is wise. So we feel like in order to be wise, we invite all people of all different colors and creeds and different religions and ideas, just to really talk about what they're going through in their life, not just relationships with their marriages or romantic relationships, but relationships that you might have had with your parents and just relationships, period, being healed from that.
Very good. Hey guys, listen. So this podcast you guys started, I know you had to persevere through some things. I wrote a book called Unstoppable and 7 universal laws that'll change the way you pursue and achieve success. What has the process of perseverance been like for you guys as not only as a couple, but actually persevering and beginning and starting this podcast? And what have been some of the challenges, and how have you persevered through that?
Well, first of all, we didn't even know what we were doing when we started.
None of us do. Let me help you out. None of us know what we're doing.
So we just started. We came up with an idea. We outlined what our goal was, and then we just started reaching out to people that we personally know to make it happen.
Yeah.
And to have our logo created. And then what else?
Yeah, we got the logo created. We got a song made.
Yeah, song made that his friend created. They always think it's us singing. I can't sing. I'm not a singer. Oh man, no.
Right.
Yeah. And
it was. I think it was more money.
It's more
than we thought there was originally than what we thought of that it was going to have to be put out on it, and we're willing definitely to do that. We just initially we didn't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, what's the message that you keep saying to yourself that keeps you guys persevering through this process? Because there's going to be plenty of ups and downs. So, and I always talk about the most important conversation is the things that we explain to ourselves. So what is the message that you are constantly saying to yourself to help you persevere through some of these bumps in the road?
I can do all things through Christ.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what.
Yeah. Amen. Okay.
Yeah. Every day.
Then I like to say, despise not small beginnings.
Yeah. And these personal messages that we have, they're more important than anything else than anybody else will say to us. Is the conversation that you say to yourself. Talk to me about an obstacle, right? Talk to me about an obstacle that you thought was an obstacle, but it really ended up being a growth moment, and it kind of rewarded your life, or rewarded your lives separately or together. On the surface, it looked like an obstacle, but it became a growth moment for you guys.
Mm. Learning how really, like, so with the two of us, we had on one of our episodes, basically we wrote down, I think it was the list of our
Our principles.
principles for ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically we wrote down a principle for ourselves, basically giving the foundation for our own relationship.
Yeah.
And basically saying, you know, we it was how many things we had on there?
We had 21 principles.
21 principles on there.
But
Wrong with that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And what was some of the things that we had on there?
Loyalty, respect, what else?
Honesty, communication.
Yeah.
Right.
So we believe that a lot of people, especially millennials, they have a hard time communicating, and our lack of communication, that's the problem. So like, if you're not expressive where you want this relationship to go, then that's like it will fail until you have that conversation. It's just gonna be, oh, I'm just with so and so. Okay, and
So you're saying that a list of core values is very important for a relationship, and very important for you. And you're absolutely right. You know, when you start listing those principles, those core values, you start saying, well, wait a minute, how are we going to be together and we don't even share the same core values?
Right, exactly.
So we might as well stop all the frustration right now. We probably, but that's awesome, because a lot of people don't take the time to do that with relationships, or with businesses, or with education, or whatever. Not even personally. And I think for personal growth, you ought to have a set of core values. You ought to have a set of core values of what is Jonathan's DNA? What is Christina's DNA? And do our core values kind of line up with one another? That's good stuff, guys. And how would you encourage others, man? How would you encourage others to be unstoppable in their lives? How would you encourage others to kind of press through what they're going through, either in business or either in relationships? Let me start with Christina. What would you say to a young lady that's kind of struggling? Christina, I'm all over the place. I don't know how to push through. What advice would you get? Encourage her. How would you encourage her?
I would say to write down all the goals that you have, whether it be for a relationship, for your own goals, that personal goals. Because I realized this year I wrote down everything that I want in a man, right? Sure. And then after that happened, me and Jonathan reconnected, and I'm like, whoa, like that's called manifesting.
Right.
So I believe that's something that I will say, or advice I would give to a young woman, and also just to believe in yourself. You know that you can. Of course, you're gonna have challenges, but just believe that you're able to do anything you set your mind to, right? Sure. And like, just stay focused, and if you want to, have a better. Everyone want to have a better life, right, for ourselves. So that's what I would tell them to do.
And you know what? I'm glad you said write it down. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people don't, and that's one of the core strategies of success is writing it down first. Something happens when you put pen to paper. Something happens in the mind. It starts working toward what you wrote down, and you wrote down some core values you wanted to see in a mate, and you recognize in Jonathan. Talk to me about you, man. How would you encourage others to be unstoppable in their lives, and what strategies have you used, man?
Definitely, me personally, I always kept God first in my life. Secondary was always making sure I stay as healthy as possible. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I always was somebody who I put my family first. Before anything else, I put myself first, and I believe if you don't help yourself, you can't help anybody else.
You're right.
And I believe that a lot of young men, especially Black young men who don't have fathers in their life or grow up without their fathers in their life, I would encourage them to find a different route, especially with you know, what you see on the radio or hear on the radio or see on TV now.
Yeah.
You know, they think that the only way to become somebody successful is, you know, walking around with your pants sagging down and stuff
Right.
like that and
Right.
selling drugs and all that. And I would encourage them that that's not the only way
Yeah.
to become successful or financially or to even be a man. You know, I think that the way to truly be a man is somebody who is a provider, somebody who is not scared to show his emotions and feelings, and to help other people and encourage other people.
Right. Yeah.
And, and
You know,
truly,
that's a great answer. And I was talking to a young man today, and we're talking about the importance, even for me, and what I do professionally. And it's going to lead to my next question. And I will ask if you guys would agree. Do you agree that it is important to be around people that hold you accountable and that stretch you? You know,
mm,
it's very important to form those type of friendships and alliances, and it's to be a part of different groups, to be a part of people that stretch my creativity, that
mm.
challenge me and hold me accountable if I say I'm going to do something. So, and that leads me to this question: who do you turn to when you face obstacles? Who do you turn to? I know, with prayer and all that. Yeah, we're believers. We pray. We turn to God. But then God puts people in our lives. Do you guys turn to people who look to agree with you or look to challenge you? Who do you turn to when you face
Mm.
obstacles?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
it's the easier route is to go to somebody who is going to agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I feel like a true friend or somebody who truly cares about you, if there's an area in your life that you can be better in, they're going to tell you, like, look, I see you slipping in this area, or I see you can be better in this area, or you're doing this a certain way. I see you can do this, a little bit better than what you're doing, or you could have said that or did that in a different way. You
yeah,
know,
Hmm.
I think it promotes you yourself being a leader. That's how you become a leader. Also, is
right.
when you're able to take advice from other people. I think you can't be a leader until you know how to be a follower.
Yeah. What about you, Christina? Who do you turn to when you face obstacles? The group that agrees with you, or the group that'll challenge you to bring out the best in you?
Actually, Jonathan challenges me.
Very
Mhm.
good. That's good.
He does. Out of everybody I can think of, yeah, he and my grandma actually. My grandma makes me stretches my thinking too. I go to her because I feel like I can go to her because she's open minded. So
Sure.
that's who I go to, and she tell it like it is. Like
Yeah.
she's a funny
Mhm.
person.
Yeah.
But yeah, between like Jonathan and my grandma,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's important. That it's important that we around people that bring out the best in us.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm much older than you guys, but my circle is a circle of men that we're kind of hard on each other, but we hold each other accountable to bring out the best in one another. And I think everybody should have that. You guys, work with couples and whatnot. I've been married successfully 29 years, one wife, all that, and what's helped us out a lot, what helped us out in the beginning years is we hung around successful couples. Yeah.
Mhm.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Success hangs with success. Imagine that. Success breeds success. I didn't hang around my couples who weren't making it or who were struggling. I didn't hang around folks. I didn't hang around men who spoke ill of their wives. I didn't hang around that. I hung around men and women who always believed the best about their spouse. And you know what? They've been married well over 20 years, and now we're about to hit the 30-year mark and things like that. So I think, even in the group that you guys talk to, and even with business, and even with my pastoring, everything is based around people that stretch me and draw out that creativity. And it's so refreshing to see a young couple that does that as well. So listen, people trying to find you guys, right? People, some young folks, some millennials are looking for a group to be around, some positive thinkers. How do they find you? Where are you guys at?
Oh man, we're on Instagram,
Instagram,
CJ.honesty.
yes.
We're on YouTube, CJ, same thing,
CJ
CJ
Honesty
Honesty.
Podcast. Ooh, excuse me. CJ Honesty Podcast.
Mhm.
And we're on what else?
All other platforms,
Spotify,
yeah.
Google,
Google.
all the platforms.
Okay, so you're on all the platforms. They can find you. And now, you guys, do you have are you guys working on a book? Are you guys writing anything? You got anything else out there that we need to know about?
Well, we just wrapped up our first season of our podcast, and
Okay.
then we're gonna launch our second season soon. So stay tuned for that.
I'm
Def-
excited.
Yes.
Definitely.
So
If
if
you look
you guys have not heard their first season, jump on Spotify right now at CJ Honesty, right?
yes.
CJ, and that's on YouTube as well.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
CJ Honesty, get on their first season, get behind these young people. You
Yes.
know, if you're young and you need a group of positive folks to be around, get with this group. We have a mutual friend. Well, he's my nephew, he's your friend. You
Yes.
know, he's super positive. That's Brandon Merchant. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the good guys.
The
Yes.
episode that he was on, if anybody's looking for it, it's called How to Deal with Racism as a Christian, Brandon Merchant.
Okay, very good, very good. You know, so and look, there's so many things we could deal with, and I'm so glad that you guys have that platform and provided that platform. If there's anything that I can do, that the Ralph Graves Jr. Company and show can do to help you guys out, please feel free to ask, and I'll be there. I'll be there. But I appreciate you guys being. Any final thoughts you guys want to share with the audience today?
Oh, well, we just want to thank everybody who is looking to support and just watch the videos, and anybody who is looking to, either engage with us or do any business with us, come on the show, or anything you want to talk about, anything that you're going through or relationships that you want to talk about, subjects, you can email us at cj.honesty. I believe it's
9192 at gmail.com.
9192.
Don't be scared.
dj.honesty9192 at gmail.com. She said, don't be scared. Thank you guys for being on the show today, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on, and just continue being unstoppable. I'm rooting for you. I'm pulling for you. Guys, you've been listening to the Ralph Graves Jr. podcast, or you've been watching the Ralph Graves Jr. channel on YouTube. If you like what you saw or heard, please click the subscribe button, share, like button, whatever it is that you need to do. And we'll be back again next week with some more guests, just to kind of continue to be unstoppable, guys. So let's be unstoppable together. I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.